So 40% of teachers in New York City, speaking of, don't want to get the vaccination or haven't gotten it. So that's interesting. It's not exactly a conservative right-wing bastion.
Right.
So that kind of destroys the narrative a little bit. I mean, we're talking about a bunch of people who basically are choosing on purpose to live in New York City and actually working in the schools and whatnot, and they don't want to get vaxxed, almost half. So that raises an interesting question. Why?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty surprising, honestly. I mean, I thought honestly, the way that I saw it playing out in my head, I was like, I'm sure as soon as the next school year rolls open, as soon as they open those schools up, it's going to be like mandatory. You know, it's like, hey, if you don't have your yellow star, you can't get in the door.
I was expecting a bunch of teachers to basically be like baby birds, like, give me vaccine. But no, there's half of them are saying, like, we're not really interested.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
The teachers union is just basically poison. It's like chemo for children. I've been through it. It sucks.
Yeah.
Like they're also like a cartel. They hold your child's education ransom until they get all their demands met. The children have to get vaccinated, by the way. They're least likely to die from it. Right. The children have to be vaccinated. The children have to be masked. And if they don't, then we're not doing this. But they don't have to get the Ouchie Fauci, which is interesting, right? Meanwhile, if they do get in front of your kids, they're telling your kids, especially if they're black and brown, that it's okay for them to be racist. As a matter of fact, it's morally acceptable for them to be racist. They're screwing up your children, screwing up American history, distorting it and making it downright retarded. And then they're like, but I don't want the jab. You have to do everything. And also, we want more pay because we're heroes.
I tell you what, man.
My cats need more litter box material.
Teachers can be some of the most. Teachers can be some of the most profoundly impacting people in a young person's life. They can also be some of the most destructive. And I'll tell you what, this last year and a half has shown me that most teachers in this country are trash.
Oh God, their TikToks are awful. They
just
always have
trash.
Blue hair and then this part is shaved and then this part is not shaved and then this part has a star on it. And they're like, I'm going to teach my little brown third graders today to punch little white kids in the face.
Yeah. It's like we don't even have like genuine teachers anymore. Like everybody wants to be an activist now.
Yes,
it's just like schools are just activists.
Yes.
Like breeding grounds, like it's ridiculous.
Well,
like,
every time I talk to anybody who's had who went and got a degree in elementary education or just in education in general, has been an insufferable leftist twat.
Yeah.
I mean, just insufferable. And this goes back years before this last 5 year sort of civil war.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm talking like in 2005 for people I would talk to, always whining about their pay. They're always trying to get more money, even though they barely work. They're getting the summers off. They're getting all these perks and sort of stuff. They're almost always women married to some guy who's also gainfully employed, so they're in a dual income household anyway. But they're always just bitching.
Not our generation. Not our generation. Those women are single cats. Actually, one of my cousins, when she graduated, I was like, "Hey, what do you want to do?" She's like, "Oh, I want to be a teacher." And I said, "Well, whatever you do, go and study where all the when you go to the library, go to the math and science library, and find yourself a husband there when you study at night." Because I was like, "You want to do it? Ridiculous. You want to be a teacher?"
Yeah, that's facts.
Oh man. Well, listen, homeschool your kids.
Please.
It's the only safe option anymore. Unless you can find like a great religious school or like religious day school or something like that. Just homeschool your kids.
Also,
hide your kids, hide your wife.
Legit.